What is up, fellow benchwarmers? Welcome to your daily fantasy quickie. What's up, guys? Another day, another fantasy quickie for you guys. Hope you had a great fantasy day today. There were lots of great performances, good stat lines, and I'm just happy some of our, buy players performed, and no one really got into injuries or COVID protocols, other than maybe a few players who were not really buy players but having a great season. I'm of course your host JJT with Commish. Nice day for fantasy, very relaxing day. I think Commish is having his vacation.
Yeah,
somewhere out there.
Somewhere out there. It's cold here, so I'm still following. Our quickie, our daily talks on Facebook was just divided into 3. So
he's got lots of time, I feel, because there's not much to do there. Right?
No, went out, so I could not really fix it in one whole post, so I divided it. Because the buy players, like today, there are a lot of buy players.
Yeah.
A lot of buy players. And I wanted to give that first, because I think that's the most important.
Yeah.
Among
and biggest news for today, I guess, is Ricky Rubio potentially season-ending injury. We still don't know. No word yet. But it looks really bad.
I think it's an ACL. It's the same knee that he had an ACL injury last 2012. So the wording of the report of the team that they had to wait for the MRI for confirmation. Basically that's it. Doctors know when it's an ACL. Players know when it's an ACL, especially Rubio, who has had it before. So just at this point, if you own Rubio, just think of it as, maybe you just picked him up anyways. So just return to sender. In other words,
it's just unfortunate because he had a great game today. I mean, one of the best, probably the best game of the season for Rubio, and it's just unfortunate.
I think he had a triple-double.
I think he almost had a triple-double.
Yes.
But a very complete stat line. I think even the steals are there, the defensive stats are there. So, and the field goal aren't as bad. I think. Let me just check the stats. Yeah, but overall, a really great game by Rubio.
Yeah, and that's the player I forgot to put in my losers list today, Darius Garland, who went into protocols last night here in Manila time.
Yeah.
So now Cleveland lost Rubio, they lost Garland. So they already are out.
I think like we said, the good thing is, Garland might just be out for 6 days, and they might have, it's the new year, and maybe there'll be, I'm not sure their schedule yet because I haven't checked it out, but yeah, he might. The good thing is hopefully he'll be out for just 6 games.
For the short term, though, it's interesting to see what they will do. The only point guard there I could see is Kevin Pangos, who, to be honest, I don't know anything about this guy. I have heard of him, but I haven't seen him play. So I can't tell you what he is or who he is or whatever. I don't know much. Denzel Valentine and Isaac Okoro.
You know what they should do? Put out a 4 center, 1 forward lineup. Bring Kevin Love to the starting lineup and have Isaac Okoro run the offense.
But I think Allen is not yet back, if I'm not mistaken. Is he back already?
No. Put Dean Wade there.
Dean Wade, yeah. But if you're gonna ask me, I'm gonna roll the dice on Kevin Pangos. I don't know. I feel like starting at point, maybe he can give you 7-8 assists. I mean, that's not far-fetched. He's a point guard. He'll get those stats at least. He's not a scorer. For sure, that's what I heard. He's not a scorer, but but the assists might be there. So if you want assists, Pangos, can't believe we're now talking about Kevin Pangos. But yeah,
He
but
might be the probably a useful guy towards the end of the week. Like if you needed a few assists, maybe. I mean, I just feel like it's way too early to add him, especially if you're gonna drop someone who's gonna be, who's a
oh yeah, for sure.
more a better fantasy player. So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
he is a name that you might want to consider towards the end of the week, maybe on a Sunday or on a Monday. Just so if you're close to the assist and you want players to stream.
Actually, a guy I'm very interested in is Denzel Valentine. I feel like this guy I know. This guy is good. This guy is a lottery pick before, but hasn't really panned out in the NBA. But he's a very, very versatile player.
Mm-hmm.
So he can play some point guard. And he is better than Kevin Pangos. So even if he's not a natural point guard, I think he might produce more. If in a deeper league, I will roll the dice on Denzel Valentine, to be honest. I can see him contributing a lot. I don't know if Isaac Okoro is available in your leagues, but if he is, he's another guy maybe worth speculating on.
Yeah. So yeah, Rubio had 27, 13, and 9 today, plus 2 steals and 2 blocks.
That hurts more,
Just one turnover.
Yeah, that
he
hurts
just didn't
more.
shoot the ball well, but hey, who cares? I mean, 10 out of 25, but yeah, 4 out of 4 free throw. I mean, almost perfect, almost the stat line you want for your starting point guard.
10 out of 25, I'll take that.
Yeah.
He has been worse than that usually, but that hurts more, as I said. And I will just segue to the next guy, Jimmy Butler, because it's the same situation. He had, I think, 15 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks a day with, I'm not sure if 20 something points. And then rolled his ankle.
He had 25, 8 rebounds and 15 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks.
Exactly. I mean, that's the perfect stat line. And you would think that he could do that from now on till Bam comes back, till Kyle Lowry comes back. This is the chance for him to at least, give his owner something.
Then what?
At the very last part of the game, the game is over. He rolls his ankle and then he goes to the bench and shakes his head. I'm gonna tell him, what are you shaking your head for? I mean, I don't know. Maybe he plays tomorrow. This is a back to back. So maybe he plays, but I'm not hopeful that he will. So be prepared.
Yeah.
Maybe hopefully it's another week. What's another week for us Jimmy Butler owners anyway. So yeah.
I hope he plays. I mean, come on.
Whether he plays
Show the tough guy Jimmy. Show the tough guy Jimmy.
Come on. There's no tough guy Jimmy. But whether he plays or not, Caleb Martin should be added right now. As in now. It doesn't matter if he plays or not. I think Martin, he started today. He didn't have a good game. That's the perfect kind of ad. Because he didn't have a good game, people are like sleeping on him. But I think especially if Butler misses time, Caleb would be the next man up there.
Caleb didn't have a good game, but he didn't have a bad game either. He had 8 points, which is okay. 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, across the board contribution. I mean, not the great stats, but yeah, probably better than some of your streamers.
I'll segue to this because I'm sure a lot of our listeners are waiting for this. I advertised this that they should wait for Jeremy's rant on Steph Curry. Because I just remember this because Caleb Martin, Jeremy said, is not bad with 8 points, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block. So I'm waiting why Jeremy has different standards.
It's not different. This Caleb Martin was just picked off the waivers. And if you compare everyone from the waivers, he probably would be one of the better ones out there, right? I mean,
you guys know that when Stephen A. Smith has his rants, people wait for his rant. Now we have a Jeremy Jesley Tan rant.
After seeing the first half of that Denver Golden State game, my goodness, I was against a team with Jokic And that was a close team. I'm frustrated because it again came at the wrong time. It didn't, I wouldn't mind bad games because, he's a scorer. He'll have bad games. The defense will clamp down on him. It's just the timing is so bad. I mean, just when you need it, you need him to at least be good. So just for context, in this league, it's the Buhay Basket League. So shout out to our Buhay Basket friends. I'm 10th at the moment, and I'm going against the 8th place team, and I'm just probably a game and a half away. So for me, that's a crucial match because if I win by 5-4, I narrow down the lead, or if I win by 6-3, I maybe move past or get into 8th spot, depending on how the others as well play out. But I'm focusing on my opponent, and my opponent had Jokic, so I know I had to rely on Steph, right? I mean, that's the top two players in fantasy. And then the first half, my goodness, what? 4 turnovers, and what? 3 points? I don't know, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 6.
Yeah, 2 points.
And I saw the stat line of Jokic. I said, my goodness, what's Steph doing? I mean, if he didn't score 23 points, at least that salvaged the line a bit. Got the points closer to Jokic's production. I just feel like, they're the top two. As long as he can match what Jokic does, at least on the scoring or some stats, I'm fine with that. So,
but yeah. Jokic is one of our player of the day, and you've seen the stat line the past 3 days.
Yeah,
he had 8 turnovers today, so his line wasn't perfect. But I'm gonna ask this question again to you, given the chance. Steph is number 1. Steph is still number 1 officially per game, maybe even totals because he hasn't missed much games. Would you accept that Steph is number 1, or would you still go with Jokic?
I still go with Jokic. I mean, like I said, even during the drafts, I already said it. The reason why I don't usually draft Steph is because I find it hard to build a team around him. It's just easier to build a team around Jokic. I mean, if you, let's say in this COVID thing, right, you lose some of your point guards, right? Then you still have the rebounding. He's still there to anchor your rebound. You just have to build on that and focus on that when you're streaming, right? With Steph, if he doesn't score, you're in trouble because he doesn't really give the wow numbers in the other categories. I mean, he does five rebounds, 5 assists, but not really a player who can anchor those stats. Unlike Jokic, I mean, 20 something rebounds, 19 rebounds. That's already good for 2 people, right?
I think also with what Jeremy is saying, Jokic is elite in rebounds, assists for a big man, and points. The others, of course, basically they're equal. Turnovers, they're almost same.
Maybe the
Steals
threes
are almost same. The threes, of course, Steph is elite there. So I think the thing why Steph's dominance is not as important or as big for us is that threes probably the easiest to really really get right now, and that's why if you have Steph nowadays, you're not sure to win threes anymore because you really have to build and add more 3-point shooters. And like before, when threes was scarce, when you have Steph, you basically win it. But now it's not the same anymore.
And it's the same sentiment I have on why I feel like I want Harden more than Steph Curry. I've talked about this before. It's just because he is the lighter version of Jokic, right? He can give you rebounding. What?
I'm going to ask you that question because we are both in accordance with Jokic's number 1. And I think a majority of our listeners are also agreeing with us. Now, given the same situation as the draft, you have the number 2 pick. Would you make a different choice now?
I'll go with Harden. Always easier for me to build a team around Harden. It's not really about, Steph is number 1 now. I don't care about that. I mean, in the sense that, he's number 1, but if I don't build well around Steph, then I'm going to be in trouble because, I have it in some teams. I mean, I could already see it in some of my teams wherein I have Steph, but in teams wherein I have Harden, I'm performing better even without Harden because I built around Harden better. It's just, and if Steph gives you some lines like these, right? He doesn't give you anything else.
So the question is, did you pick Steph at number 2 in that draft in Buhay Basket?
Yeah, I think I did.
Okay. So
because I had a lot of Hardens. I have a lot.
Say Jeremy has regretted that choice.
Not
right
really,
now.
not yet. I mean, I'm still within that playoff spot. It's just frustrating. I mean, it just
okay. Harden's
look at the
number
timing.
2. Would you go Steph at number 3 or would you pick another player? Specifically KD, I guess.
KD. I'd go KD.
Steph is falling and
I'd go KD. I have KD in another team. I have KD in another team that's been doing well. So I think it's just me. It's not really about the player. It's just me. I find it hard to build around Steph. That's it.
We're just ripping. We're just. Jeremy,
I know.
But I get his point. I do get his point. In some weird way, sometimes building around Steph, people have a sense of complacency with Steph. They feel like, okay, I have Steph. I'm sure in 3 points. I'm sure in points, but it's not. It's not the case. I mean, that's why sometimes you make a mistake in your build when it's Steph because you think, I don't need to,
I think the biggest thing, maybe someone has sure I have made mistakes on about Steph is that when I get Steph, I build on the other stats next, right? The assists, the rebounds, without thinking about the scoring. Because I mean, the threes, like we said, you can, get it in a lot of ways, right?
A lot of ways.
Yeah. And there are a lot of players who can shoot threes later on in the draft. So I think the mistake that I do when drafting or building around Steph is that the first one is Steph. Then the next one, I go for maybe someone who can rebound or pass the ball better without looking at the scoring, and not building around that scoring, the points. Not really the threes, but the points. Because that's where Steph should be elite, right? The points. And then maybe in the third round, I go more of the assist guys or the rebounding guys. So looking back, I think that's the way I should have done it. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I'm still happy that I'm still within striking distance. But yeah, all of my Steph teams, even in the 18-team league, I'm doing bad. I mean, I'm 10th, 9th. I mean, I'm just on the edge of falling out of the playoff contention. But all the other teams, I'm doing a little better than all the other teams.
So there you have it, guys. The official
rant
of JJT is over.
Now you know what? Those who have Steph, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that you're not frustrated.
Okay, we'll wait for your comments with what JJT said. Now we can move to a better news about COVID players who have come out of it. And I'm sure you know all the just for a quick update, Minnesota has most of their players back, but they did not play today because of conditioning, but they'll be back soon. So nothing to talk about there. Brooklyn also, KD, LaMarcus is back.
Even Kyrie. Even Kyrie got out.
That is what I want to talk about right now. Kyrie is out. So Steve Nash has said that they'll give him 1 to 2 weeks of conditioning and practice. That puts January 13 versus Chicago, I think, or I'm not too sure if it's Chicago, as the most possible debut game. Although they have another road game on January 6 or January 3. But I'm thinking that's too near. They're probably going to go with January 13. So what's your take on this? Are you excited? Because I know you have Kyrie.
No, I dropped my Kyrie.
Oh, you dropped.
Okay. No one really wanted him. Although someone picked him up, of course, someone will pick him up from the waivers. But when I offered it to some people, they really didn't want him. But yeah, I dropped my Kyrie.
What's your take on Tyree? Will he be a difference maker this year in fantasy? In fantasy, I don't care about real Brooklyn basketball. Of course, he will be a difference maker there. Will he sway a league? Will he win?
Something I'm quite curious about, because Bradley Beal got himself vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking if Kyrie will follow his footsteps in getting, because I think that's the crucial part for Kyrie to be significant, I guess. When we did the math about Kyrie's part-time playing stuff, I think it's not really worth it. But yeah, but I that's the question I have. If he gets vaccinated, then that's gonna be a game changer for everyone.
So
But
you think he is not yet vaccinated now? I mean,
no,
no. You
no,
think
I
it's
don't
not?
think
Okay.
he is not.
Because I was thinking maybe you're thinking like maybe like Beal, he already got vaccinated and will just surprise all of us that surprise, I'm back and I'm back full time because I already got vaccinated.
Yeah.
So you think it's not the case?
With Kyrie, I don't think it is. It's gonna be
Okay.
big news if he has been vaccinated.
Well, if he didn't tell anyone, it won't be news, right?
Yeah, but yeah, I doubt it. I mean, yeah, we'll
I,
see.
I
We'll see. I mean, I just feel like at some point, I just feel like at some point he might get himself vaccinated.
okay, fair
Especially
enough.
if it doesn't work. I mean, if the what do you call this? The part-time thing, the part-time gig doesn't work well.
we
For
we
the
did we did
Nets.
we did the math, and I'm just gonna recap it. 22 games more or less. I added 20, 21, 22 games. I'm not sure about his status versus Toronto and versus Golden State. If he's allowed to play there. If he's not allowed to play there, around 18 total games that he can play for the rest of the season.
And they've
That's
already played some, right?
who?
The Nets.
No, I mean the remaining road schedule of the Nets.
Okay.
They have some Golden State games. They have the Toronto game. They have two New York games. I
From
removed
here
one of
on,
them
right? From
from
here on,
here on.
because we talked
From here
about
on.
him earlier in a couple of weeks
Yes,
ago. So yeah, that
from here on. So I counted 18, but I asked the question whether he's going to be a difference maker because there's a week. I'm not sure if it's 21, 22, or 23. I'll have to be more sure about that. I'll check it out. Where there's a week that Brooklyn will have three road games in that week. So it's later part of the season. So if in case it's your semis, quarters, or finals week, that's big. That's gonna be big if the team that owns Kyrie is still alive because that is the week that he actually. That's aside from that week. There's another week that we'll have three games. They have the road games of Brooklyn are kind of bunched together, so there would be some time that you can use him for 4 or 5 games and then miss him for a long time. So yeah, overall maybe not really a difference maker, but could be a difference maker because there's a week in the playoffs where he might play three games.
could be
There.
a good player. But yeah, I dropped him, so I'm moving on. I'm just trying to
But
survive.
but
It's the same league.
you have to make the playoffs first. You have to make it
Yeah,
there
that's
first.
it. That's it. That's why I dropped him because
Yeah,
I'm
you have
10th.
to
It's
make
the
it there
same.
first.
It's the same league wherein I have Steph. So that's why I was so uh I was so I held on to Kyrie for so long because imagine Steph and Kyrie together, right? I mean, that solves my
Yeah,
problem about the scoring. So
yeah.
I just yeah. So it's the same league. So I'm trying to survive there. I'm 10th. So I just focus on getting to the playoffs. After last week, when uh I got demolished, I said I have to drop him and just move on. So yeah. Other players, Pat Bev came back. Evan Mobley played well as well. Isaac
Yeah.
Okoro, we said, also came back. So yeah, those keep uh, an eye for those guys. I think Cody Martin is back. Yeah, he was back
Yeah.
yesterday. Who else were back today?
Well,
Yeah, pretty much those
Gary Trent,
guys.
Gary Trent,
Gary
Pascal
Trent,
Siakam,
Pascal
Pascal
Siakam
Siakam.
played.
Yes. So
And yeah, so slowly, so I guess after all those COVID stuff, slowly everyone's getting back. So hopefully by January we get a more normal fantasy
can I
season.
add something about the new rule?
Yeah.
Apparently, it's not about the days; it's about the cycle threshold. I don't know what it means, but there's a number there. The interesting thing there is if your cycle is 35 and above, you can play already, and they usually count it as the fifth or sixth day. The problem is they will continue to test you after that. And if your cycle goes down below 30, you'll be back to the protocols. So we might see situations where
I
players
think,
are back and then in and then out and then in and then out.
yeah, I don't want to be too scientific, but from what I understand, the cycle threshold has some, it's the sensitivity of these tests. I think
Mm.
I mean, I'm not sure if it's the higher one that be more sensitive to COVID. So meaning the chances of you getting positive or getting a positive result is higher, or something like that.
But the interesting part is you can be happy your player is back, but after 2 to 3 days your player is out. And another thing, in college basketball, they're mandating that if you come out of protocols in 6 days, you play with mask on from day 6 to day 10 or 12. I'm not
the
sure.
mask on, where it's
No. Mask on, as in mask on. You have to play with mask on. So again, this might be nothing, but NBA players are not college players. They will never say,
they won't do that. They will never do that. They will never do that.
I'm just giving some info to you guys. So
and I don't think the NBA Players Association would want to do that, would agree to that. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it gets better from here on. What else? All right, so let's talk about some buy players.
Buy players, yeah.
Who's the best buy here? Malik Monk and Carmelo Anthony of the Lakers played well. They played small ball, but again, everyone's really giving a big fuss about the Lakers win today, but they were against Houston. Come on, guys.
Who made a big fuss about the Lakers winning?
I mean, I've been watching some videos. Not us, not me, but come on, man. I watched interviews of interview of LeBron, and some of the interviewers there were in the Spectrum Sports were excited about it. Well, because they snapped a losing streak. I guess that's something to be excited about.
Just give them something to be happy about. They have to win these games. They lost to OKC twice already, so these games are not given for them. But Malik Monk was a very good stream because they have a back-to-back tomorrow, and I'm happy I streamed him. I already recommended Malik before, and I think Carmelo is the same thing. Jeremy said they played small ball. Stanley Johnson
still played.
And Dwight Howard did not play at all. So, as we said, drop your Dwights. There's no use in adding Dwight Howard. Stanley Johnson, don't add him. It's really Malik and Melo there. Taylor Horton-Tucker,
I'm trying to get rid of my Taylor Horton-Tucker in an 18-team league. That's an 18-team league, guys. I'm trying to get rid of him, but just couldn't add anyone of value from the waiver.
Some of the players that we'll mention today could help. Let's see.
Yeah, Caleb Martin, like we said a while ago. Omer Yard 7, we've been talking about him already.
Yep.
Solid rebounding if you need the rebounds. Definitely not there in a 14-team league. I don't see any Yard 7. But he, if I'm not mistaken, in some leagues he was dropped. So maybe there's a few, or maybe that was a 12-team league. Davis Bertans, we talked about him.
Gabe Vincent also was been dropped because they probably saw Butler coming back.
Yeah.
But I think hold on to him. Hold on to Gabe Vincent.
Davis Bertans and Denny Avdia from the Wizards.
Avdia is in your league, in your 18-team league. Bertans might be available.
Who would you rather have here, though? Bertans or Avdia? Because I like Avdia.
I'd rather have Avdia. But we've talked about Avdia before. I just put Bertans there because I think Bertans will be available. No Harrell, no Hachimura. Both are in protocols. Still no Thomas Bryant. So, and their bench basically ravaged already. They have Bradley Beal out. Bertans will just take threes. If he makes 4 or 5, probably gonna help.
Good. And on good days he makes 7, 8.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the big man Steph.
No, he's a big man Duncan Robinson.
Yeah.
Duncan had a great game today, but I'm sure he's gonna get 0 again the next game.
He got a great game today. Who were they against?
Not even sure who. Washington? I'm not sure who they were against.
Yeah. I think it's Washington. It's depleted Washington team. So don't buy much into it. Isaac Okoro, Denzel Valentine, we talked about them, and Kevin Pangos. Herb Jones. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I dropped the lone Herb Jones I have just because they don't have a game anymore, I think. Until next year.
Sure. Maybe, but they have 3 games. No. Yeah, they have 2 games this week, I think. So Herb Jones.
Next game, I think, is on the January 3rd, if I'm not mistaken.
But Herb Jones is good. I mean, Brandon Ingram is out. Josh Hart, as we just talked about yesterday, we
Yeah.
said that Josh Hart was good, is whatever, but he'll always pop up in the injury reports all of a sudden out of nowhere. And true enough, he supposedly sprained his ankle and could not play today. So Herb Jones has really stepped up his game scoring wise. We already know he can do steals, he can do the rebounds, he can do the other stuff. But scoring is very, very surprising that Herb has been able to do that.
Yeah. They didn't have any scorers though as well. So other than Valanciunas, I guess. So yep. Herb Jones slowly creeping in top 100, I think.
Yeah, slowly for the past few weeks. But overall for the season, maybe not yet. Maybe not yet.
So they have a 3-day break.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I dropped him in one of the leagues wherein I had him. And it's hard to add him now.
That's a solid move. I would not be against that, because if you really look at it, 3 games, Josh Hart might be back, Ingram might be back. I mean, right? Yeah. So that's an okay move for me.
Who else? Quentin Grimes.
Yeah, this is more of a watch list. Quentin Grimes is back. Miles McBride is back. Emmanuel Quickly is back. So all of the Knicks are back. For some reason, Quentin Grimes is getting a lot of minutes. Not for some reason. RJ Barrett is really bad. Has been really bad.
The reason that is RJ Barrett.
And Tibbs, since Grimes came back, has been giving him 25 to 30 minutes a game. So just monitor him in deep leagues. Like Jeremy has an 18-team league. I'm sure Grimes is available.
Yeah, he is.
If he becomes the 6th man in New York, he will be having some value. And conversely, not only is Barrett struggling, Alec Burks is just losing minutes. Yep. So for me, Alec Burks will probably be a drop at this point.
And just to give you some Kemba update. Kemba just had 10 points, but he had 33 minutes, so it was not bad. And I'm happy I rostered Mitchell Robinson in my Roto league. So I'm slowly getting there. I'm 4th right now. I think 4th, tied at 4th. The top one is so far out. I mean, I think the best case for me maybe is 2nd. I think that's the best case.
That's not bad. It's not bad already.
But the top one has already 101 points, and the games aren't as inflate. I mean, he hasn't used a lot of games. He's still over the projections, but not too far.
But you have also to look at not only the games. The games is the easiest one to look at, but you have to look at his lead over other in the each category over the other players. So you have right now, since you're number 4, and you're looking at right now, you're looking at the number 1, number 2. You're looking at this. You have to now study their team. This is now your next job, because
the 2 and 3 have so far more games. Have used so far more games. Like they're +6, +7, +8 on the games played.
You have to study the games of the top 4, including yourself. Not games. Their position. Like in points, how many points?
That's what I'm doing now. In certain stats.
How many points ahead are they, and how many points behind are they the next one? So there you can see more or less I can project more or less with those with that research, quote unquote.
Yeah, so that's Roto 101. 101. This is my first time to play Roto alone without any help, because last season commish helped me out. Anyway, going back to the quickie, Facundo Campazzo.
Monte is out with some knee issue. I'm not sure if it will linger, but Campazzo, assistant steals. Someone to ponder whether he. Well, even if Monte comes back the next game, your move will not really be wasted. Campazzo gets minutes anyway. Yeah, there.
Austin Rivers is worth a stream. No.
Nah, I'm not. I don't. I think you'd have to be really desperate to go to Austin Rivers with so many COVID replacements available.
Because he got for 34 minutes, so I was thinking,
There are a lot of COVID replacements available in normal times, maybe, but now with so many players getting value all of a sudden, I think you better go to those players.
yeah, and JTA, Juan Toscano Anderson, maybe in deeper
Yeah,
leagues.
yeah, deeper leagues.
Yeah,
Until
David
Draymond comes
Nwaba and Isaiah Roby. Isaiah Roby back on the buy list.
because of the injury to the COVID outbreak in OKC. Jeremiah Robinson Earl, Derek Favors, Josh Giddey.
Yeah.
So these players, suddenly Roby is trusted to the starting center position. If he gets 25 minutes, yeah, in deeper leagues again, he can have value.
Yeah. Worry players, we've talked about a bunch of them.
Yeah, talked about. Yeah.
DeAaron Fox. Let's talk a bit about DeAaron Fox. Not the season that we foresaw for DeAaron Fox. I mean, now Halliburton's really hot. I mean, he is really hot. He's closing in on top 10, top 15, I think.
Yeah. I this is my thing with Fox. He was good. He was already, not good. He was already,
getting
gaining
better
momentum. And then COVID hit him. Now, I'm not saying COVID, he had bad symptoms or whatever, but coming back, he came back to a different Kings lineup. Hallie, you saw it. We are seeing it right now. It's a transformation. You can sense it. You can feel it that this is slowly moving away from being Fox's team to being Halliburton's team.
Yeah.
And I don't know how Fox will. You remember Sexton? How Sexton and Garland, kind of in the same situation. I feel like this is the same situation. And if he doesn't get traded, it won't end well for him. I hope he gets traded because that's the only way this will end up being a good ending for both Hallie and Fox.
Yeah. So I have a bunch of Halliburtons as well.
You should be happy.
Yes, I am. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that he maintains this, especially now that Harden's. Most of those teams I have Harden as well. So hopefully, I get back on track because I fell from some of the leagues. I fell from 2 to around 6 now, 7 because of this COVID thing. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Feel good.
Just one. I want one.
About
one player.
Franz Wagner.
No.
Jokic.
Chris Boucher.
All right, Chris Boucher.
I can't believe you forgot about a guy.
He wasn't in the list.
I have another post, the Sell High guys, and Chris Boucher is there, and nothing else to say. Sell high, sell high, sell high. If you believe that he can continue this until the end of the season, then you believe in Santa Claus.
Wait, who is out? Why did Chris Boucher play? OG is out.
Fred VanVleet.
VanVleet is out.
Achua.
All right. Cambridge is out. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the reason why Boucher.
Wait. Do you think he can? This is for real?
No, not this. Not this good. But maybe he could be back to being rosterable.
Yeah. He's rosterable.
I mean, now, yes, but before that, when everyone was healthy, he was droppable.
Yes, but the legend of Chris Boucher, it grows. So when he has games like this, for some reason, people get overexcited. So if you have him, you might be able to capitalize there and take advantage.
All right, so I have a question. And we have a few minutes to spare. AD, I was talking to you about AD. I'm trying to trade my AD, and it's in one league wherein the other manager was, kind of shopping Dame. If that manager is listening, probably I won't be able to trade AD to him now. But AD, what's the value of AD in the trade market? Because I have some worries about AD. Last year,
what's the value?
I have some flashback of what happened last year. Right? Last year, AD got hurt out for 3-4 weeks, and then he didn't come back as well, or got injured again, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But it was a bad year for AD last year, and I had him in a lot of leagues. I mean, 3-4 leagues, I guess. Now I have him in a couple of leagues, 2, 3 leagues maybe. Uh, in one league, I'm thinking about trading him
I
because
think
somehow I feel like I can trade him at this point.
your question is, what is the fair value, or what do I think is
Yeah,
the
do you still is getting a first rounder
realistic?
realistic? They're
No,
like Dame, for
no.
example.
Well, Dame, yes.
I'll add one more maybe.
Yes, player like Dame, it's realistic because of the worries of Dame, worries about Dame. And I pose the question back to you. Do you trust Dame more than AD? I
Uh,
mean, there is also a
do
shutdown
you
risk.
trust Dame more than AD?
No, I don't. Because there's a shutdown issue with Dame, and the Blazers are bad. The Blazers are not even top 10. The Blazers, I think, 12 or 13. They're bottom already of the West. And we know that he's just playing because he wants to get into the playoffs. And if they're far, far off, what's preventing him from shutting it down early? So I think the risk with Dame is significant. And AD, meanwhile, I know when he got injured, it hurt, but we're 2 weeks into the timeline. So what's another 2 weeks? What's another 2 weeks to
I'm
wait?
not worried about the other 2 weeks. I'm worried about what comes after those 2 weeks.
I think
Knowing that AD is
uh,
fragile as anyone out there.
he already had this. For me, I think when he comes back, he'll be relatively okay to end the season. I mean, he'll still miss some games here or there, but overall, he can finish the season well. Now, question is, can you get a first rounder? If it's Dame that you're saying, yeah, you can get the Dame as a first rounder. But if you're asking a real first rounder, maybe another player I could.
No, how about a second rounder?
Even a second rounder, I'm kind of not confident. Except if you're a good master, salesperson, maybe you can do that. But
Vucevic?
You time it. He just came off a very, very wild game, 4 blocks and those 17 rebounds. He's playing well. But if you timed it before, yeah, I think you could have gotten Vucevic for AD if you timed it before. But now maybe not. Now maybe not. But
Yeah,
it depends on
right.
the
But
manager.
you got me thinking. 2 weeks. Maybe I'll wait another 2 weeks. And if I
I
really
will
want to
wait. I
trade,
will wait. I
yeah, I
mean,
just need to survive 2 weeks because
Jamorant came back in 4 weeks. Although Jamorant is different from AD, but I just feel like it depends on your team. I don't know. You've already waited for 2 weeks. So I'll just wait. I just wait it out.
yeah,
Unless he gets COVID. So after
I hope he gets it now. I hope he gets it now. Yeah, the only reason why I asked that because I'm really down and there's really not much to drop there. I've Lowry out, Bamba out. Bamba's been out for so long. I don't get it. Bridges
and
out.
also Cole. I also want. We haven't talked about Cole, but I really don't know what's up with Cole. He came back for a game and then he's out again. So that ankle injury might be significant.
Yeah.
Might be bad. That
So
ankle
yeah,
injury.
I'm trying to get some warm bodies just to make sure that I don't go past that 8 spot. Because I'm 6 right now. And
if you want some warm bodies, I'll give you maybe an AD for a JJJ kind of a deal, maybe, or maybe an AD for Kristaps. I know Kristaps is playing well, but his owners might be thinking, I'm upgrading an injury-prone player for another injury-prone player. So maybe I can win that. And for me, I'll take that deal. Kristaps is playing now, so maybe a buy low, maybe a sell low, but if you're really down, I will not blame you for trying that. I would.
It's just
I
so
would
hard. I just feel like this is one of my better teams, and it's so hard to break it up. Like, especially if you're gonna trade sell low like that.
There are a lot of names that I'll be okay with. Dame is just not one of them. Not this year. Not this year.
All right. All right. Let's see. I might wait another 2 weeks. Let's see if I survive. I'm tied 4-4, but yeah, but I'm 9 games down. I mean, I probably will have 9 more games, so I'm probably gonna lose that. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see. Yeah, that's it for our daily fantasy quickie for today. Hope you enjoyed this. It's a great fun quickie once again with Commish, and yeah, we'll see you again. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow, tomorrow. We'll see you again tomorrow. It's 2 days left before the year ends. Yeah, see you tomorrow, guys. Bye.
Bye.